Hey guys, I'm Pivi. You're watching Channa 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 podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have very special guest today joining all the way from Colombo. We got Pivi Rathnasinghe joining the podcast. Hi Pivi.
Hey Channa.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's an honor to be here actually. So thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, nice to have you. So how is Colombo these days?
COVID wise, the COVID numbers are, like getting higher and higher, but people are actually getting crazy. I mean,
Right.
if you're going out, at least take necessary precautions, but like wear a mask or sanitize everything, but apparently no.
Yeah, I saw some of those pictures. Like there was this one photo, there was just heads. It was like the whole street was just heads of people.
Yeah. Yeah, the other day I was passing by Goal Face, and then there were like a huge crowd, like without masks. That's
Hmm,
crazy.
right.
Like
So Pivi, how did this pandemic, last year and year before, how did that affected you?
um like profession wise, or
Yeah,
like
or just life and professionally, how did it affected you?
um actually, because I'm a freelancer, it's um it's pretty good because I'm always working online.
Right,
So when actually the pandemic started, people were looking, because I'm a writer, and people were looking for articles about COVID, and like there was a new market opening up. So
right,
in that respect, I was, pretty good. In that case, yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, of course, a lot of people, got sick, lost jobs, got
Yeah.
lost family members, but there were a lot of opportunities as well, right? The pandemic actually brought a lot of opportunities to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, like people like me, actually, people who always work online, they were like, even like my brother and all the people who worked 9 to 5 jobs, they were at home and then doing their own thing, and they could actually work on, stuff like YouTube and stuff as well, because of the extra time they had.
Right. Oh, so PB, tell me a little bit about your childhood and what's your earliest memory of music?
So actually, my dad was a singer, and he was an avid Hollywood and Western music uh, a fan. So even wrestling.
Hmm.
So I'm not, so unlike many of my friends, I was exposed to Western music and Hollywood movies at a very young age. And so I grew up with listening to Victor Rathnasinghe, ABBA, or Boney M in that case. So I distinctly remember this time, when I was so little. Um, uh, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion was playing everywhere,
Right.
and I was so little. At that time, the kids were wearing hats with braids on. So I was that little. And then when I heard this song, I was thinking, what if, like, someday if I could sing like her? And
Right.
obviously, I didn't even like know what she was saying. And then, in my teen years, this one time I heard a song that was playing in my brother's room, and then suddenly it just blew my mind. And then when I searched about it, it was Saving Me by Nickelback. So
Right.
and that moment I thought, this this is the kind of music I want to listen to the rest of my life. And then that was the first song actually I've ever covered as well. So because I'm a gamer, I used to like play a lot, and I was practically addicted to games. So, you might also remember the like back in the days, video games featured a lot of 90s and 2000s music,
Right.
and in this time, like for me, it was like WWE or Need for Speed, some games like that. So I've discovered Disturbed, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, uh, 3 Days Grace, all these bands from these video games,
Right.
um, and especially like Linkin Park. It was all the rage back then, right? I mean, I
Right.
was I was playing their songs in a constant loop. Like once, one of my neighbors came up to my house, and they goes like, and she goes like, I can't hear anything over this racket.
Yeah, I think Linkin Park, it's for me also, it's very special because I was always a rock fan, rock music fan. And but there was a time that I was not really listening for some time, especially in the early 2000s.
Mhm.
And then I heard Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, and then everything changed. So I really came back
Yeah.
to it because of Linkin Park. And
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you
if you like ask anybody, like Linkin Park is at the top. Like it's the pivotal moment, right? Like anyone, even now, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so sad that Chester passed away, right? It was
Yeah.
a quite sad thing, and it's actually one of my regrets because I actually missed the Linkin Park concert when they came to Manila
Mm.
for some reason. So I'm really regretting that. Um, uh, Hybrid Theory was my, my all time favorite Linkin Park album,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
once
same here.
right? But once Chester passed away, I think the last album, One More Light, makes more sense, and I felt more closer to that. I think
Hmm.
you probably know the song One More Light and
Yeah,
Heavy.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, those.
But it's shame that they've got a lot of hate then later in their you know because they've kind of changed their trajectory. So because of that, people hated them, right? Like most of the fan base was divided
Hmm,
because of that.
right. Yeah, but I think bands needs to grow, right? Because people grow,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
music has to grow as
Yeah,
well.
they need to change. I mean, it's like everybody has to change sometime, right?
Right, right, right. I think that the other band that you mentioned also that get a lot of flack from people is Nickelback. Everybody hates
Yeah.
Nickelback for
I mean, it has become the worst, the guilty pleasure, even for me. Like, I don't even mention them in front of others. Like,
right. And whenever you ask them why they hate Nickelback, they don't actually have a good
uh,
answer.
they have the only answer they have. Uh, I think Chad Kroger and the Taylor, right?
Right.
Corey Taylor, sorry, Corey Taylor. They had this feud going on, and then because of that, they don't like something like that.
Right, right. I actually just before the pandemic, I actually was able to go and see Nickelback, and I was
Oh,
able to. I have a picture with them because it's really. I
you're
mean,
lucky.
yeah, actually, just like and a lot of people were like commenting on when I posted that photo. They were like, but they need to be there on the show to experience it because they put up an amazing show,
Mm.
right? Uh, so PV, did you like sing at school or church, stuff like that, or how did the singing actually came to you?
Um, Actually, I've performed in school once and performed in college once.
Right.
Because I'm a very shy person, I would just always, like go backwards and Even when someone is pushing me, I would like, no, I can't do it, and then something like that. But when I was in school, there was this government project involving a couple of kids, teenagers, including me. So I had to come here to Colombo and record 5 songs, and with them, I had to do 5 videos as well. So it was my first experience recording 5 covers in one go. So this was when I was 17, and it was certainly it certainly was one of the best experiences that I had. But at the same time, it was nerve wracking because I didn't, like, I wasn't really aware what's going on, and this was for mainstream media as well. So it was a huge deal for me back then. And then, like, most of the people didn't even know what rock music was back in the days. And then it was a bit difficult for them to fathom what's going on with me, and why is she like doing this, something like that. Because especially when my other friends, they didn't even listen to the kind of music I was listening to.
Right.
So my song choices were actually from Evanescence, Shine Down, Breaking Benjamin, and so on. So at this time, we've actually done done and dusted a couple of videos, and
Mm.
then this halfway through this particular video, this person came up to me and said along something along the lines of, uh, "Every song you're singing is from hell." so I was like, they aren't even heavy enough to be in hell.
Right.
so like, I'm glad that now many people in Sri Lanka are familiar with metal and rock music, for that matter, and they don't perceive it as the devil, like. So after that, a couple of bands actually have approached me, asking whether I wanted to, like, uh, be in their bands as the lead vocalist. But because I'm an extremely introverted person, I kind of chose to, like, turn them down. And uh, but at the same time, I was a bit indecisive about what I was going to do with my life. Like, am I going to pursue my dream, or am I going to like abandon it altogether? But after YouTube became a thing, like many creators, like including myself, we had the chance to like go out there and show our talents without being afraid. So that's why I'm thinking that YouTube is the most comfortable place for me, because I don't have to, go through any unnecessary interactions and do my own thing, like being 100% comfortable in my own space.
Right. Because I think you just need to only to worry about creating the music, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
everything else is quite a easy process, right? With
Yeah.
YouTube. Right. I also know that I think I saw in your profile you created or you founded, you're a co-founder of Sweet Life of Mine, something like
Yeah.
that. Can you tell
Yeah.
me about it?
So actually, uh so like I said, I always wanted to do my own thing. So I always felt like I'm the boss. I don't like to be bossed around. So because
Right.
of that, I wanted to do my own thing. So writing is also my passion, as well as my singing. So because of that, I started working on Fiverr, and then I've started working started 2 blogs actually, Sweet Life of Mine and Post Pandemic Soul. So where I share most of the stuff uh, relating to health and fitness.
Right. What do you think the why people, I because I always see people are not, I mean, they don't have the right attitude toward fitness, right? They always think that they can do it later. I feel that it's something that they have, right? They always say, okay, I probably can lose weight later or something. So they don't do it now, right?
Yeah, I mean, most of the people take life for granted, right? I
Right,
mean, it's this moment. You have to like work on your health and for your betterment every single time, every single day. I mean, especially with the pandemic, you're at home and you have to like work out and keep your health up to par. If not, like your mental health goes out of the window and nothing is there.
right, right. Yeah, I think with the pandemic, a lot of, I mean, the governments and everybody who was in, the authority, they were looking at, sort of safety from COVID, but they were not really looking at the impact of people are going through, especially with mental health, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
something that
I
I.
was, like when the pandemic started, we were, at home and we were actually going through a lot. So it was just, it happened suddenly. Like we didn't expect it to happen.
Right, right. But I mean, I think I always say, like, you have to talk to your family, you have to talk to your friends.
Yeah,
Talking is the solution most of the time, right? So,
yeah,
or you need to, if you really need help, you need to get some professional help, right? So,
yeah, yeah,
and I think what I see in culture in Sri Lanka and cultures like Sri Lanka is that, especially for men, they think that men shouldn't, like, share their feelings, or they shouldn't talk about their emotions, or
yeah.
they have to always, keep themselves. So
Hmm.
I think a lot of people are going through that, especially men. I mean, I
Hmm.
see that with a lot of my friends. They don't talk about them, they just live with it, and with that stress, eventually they get sick, and
Yeah.
it ruins their lives.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because like men are perceived to be, you know, always perceived to be like this rock, or something like a rock, or they can't like cry or something like that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that those ideas should change now. I think it's right time for those things to change, right? uh, so PV, how did you got interested of ukulele?
Okay, so it's kind of a long story actually. So as a kid, I used to play the keyboard
Right,
and I was kind of good at it. And then, later I didn't play it, or I didn't even like sing. So then on my 25th birthday, my boyfriend got me a keyboard, and I was obviously quite, like emotional, excited, and I was thinking I can sing and play at the same time. And
right,
then, sometime after, I've learned to play Claire de Lune by Debussy, the whole thing, and I was pretty happy about it. And then, when I tried to sing while playing, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't memorize anything. And then, my keyboard was then lying around at my house for some time. And then for another birthday, then my my boyfriend showed up with another instrument, that is the ukulele. Then I was like, oh man, again, another instrument, because I didn't want to like disappoint him. And
right.
then the minute I held it in my hands, I felt like this is the instrument for me. Like then exactly after 1 week, I could play the ukulele and sing along with it. So I think ukulele is such a magical instrument. It's just, it can turn around any song upside down and give it its own spin. So yeah, so I have like a couple of ukulele covers as well in my on my channel.
Yeah, I saw that you actually did a cover of Britney Spears' "Toxic" also, right?
Yeah, yeah. I did a Green Day cover as well. I
Right,
mean,
and
it's really difficult for me,
right,
but I think I'm getting better, and I feel like I could do it with the piano. It was like I was always like at the same place, not progressing. It was kind of frustrating for me.
Right. And I love this that you actually did a cover of Watermelon Sugar.
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Right. So I really love that song because even though it's Harry Styles' song, uh, there is a cover version of The Main. I don't know if you know the band The Main.
I think I've heard of them. I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, I actually love. I mean, it's one of my favorite bands also. So uh, I've seen them a couple of times, and I really love the Watermelon Sugar song. I didn't know that it was actually a cover until later. I found out that it's actually a cover of Harry Styles song.
Oh. I actually discovered it when one of my friends actually have covered it on SoundCloud, and
Right.
then when he was singing, I thought this song is great, and then when I searched about it, it was Harry Styles. He has a different kind of like vibe.
Right. 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 So I got to know this producer from Chicago, based producer Jed Brewer, because I interviewed a couple of bands, also from Sri Lanka and other places which Jed has actually produced or recorded. And I know you for the latest song you actually work with Jed, right?
Yeah, yeah. So actually in 2019, I did this cover, I Hate Everything About You by 3 Days Grace, and
Right.
I posted this cover on my Facebook wall. And then there was this friend of mine, Sasindu. He actually shared it on his wall. And then Jed Brewer was a friend of this friend. So
Right.
he had seen this cover and he had actually reacted to it, and then he reached out to me. And then he was like, based in Chicago, and I'm this music producer and musician, and we are actually currently doing this project involving environment, and we have this song written, and I think you have the perfect voice to sing it. And he actually told me that, right off the bat, I thought this is too good to be true. Like, it was actually too good to be true for me.
Right.
And then like he showed me a song that he previously did with another person who is Ashin
Right.
now. So then I checked it out, and then I thought this is awesome, and then he sent me the Whole Earth lyrics and the demo. Actually, the demo was sung by Jed himself. And then the minute I listened to it, it blew my mind because of the music and as well as the lyrics, because it's so relatable and evergreen. So that's how actually the Whole Earth happened, and it has over like 33K views on YouTube now. It's a huge deal for me.
Right. So what why did it feel that song was quite special for you?
um because many people, like, start their careers singing about love or hate or something like that. So I think it's about, for a good cause. And environment is a big deal for me actually. So I'd like to be, uh s- do sustainable things. So because of that, it felt kind of familiar to me.
Right, right. Yeah, because I always see that there are a lot of people who talk about environment all the time, but their
They
actions
don't act.
doesn't
Yeah.
they don't really act. They don't do real acts that has the real positive result, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the act is more important than actually just talking about
Yeah. Yeah.
it. Because I mean it's a simple thing, like if you can, like, for example, if you can walk instead of driving, like,
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
simple thing like that
Exactly.
can
Exactly.
have a bigger impact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. uh, Pivi, tell me a little bit about the writing you do. I mean, outside of songs, what do you write?
Um, um, I actually, I'm a professional writer in SEO uh, stream, like SEO in the sense search engine optimization.
Right,
So for like, there's a lot of people who run websites and blogs, and for those, I write things based on their uh, article titles. So that's the main thing I do. But apart from that, like, I write about pretty much everything, from my blogs and everything. And currently I'm writing a novel as well.
right. I think I saw some screenshots you posted about your mini stories or something like that on Facebook.
Yeah, I post mini articles as well. When I see something, I want to write about it. So even
Right,
about movies and all that, like that.
right. So the whole uh you said you had like 33,000
Yeah.
views, and
Yeah.
I think it keeps on going because I just watched it today again. So so right. So how was the response, especially from Sri Lankan fans? I mean, people from Sri Lanka. How was the response to that song?
um Actually, I think the bigger audience is not from Sri Lanka.
Right,
uh People who know me actually have reached out to me and said, "Oh my god, this is cool. I mean, let's do some more," and things like that. But I think the song has gotten to a bigger audience, uh more than beyond Sri Lanka. It has gotten this much kind of reach. um I mean, I don't think like, I mean, I don't know. It's um yeah, I mean, people who know me actually have appreciated it a lot.
right. So what's happening with you? Are you writing new songs? Any new songs coming up?
Yeah, I mean, like, uh, so before I want to start that, I want to tell you that Jed is one of the few people I've met online who is 100% genuine, talented, kind, and supportive, because, like, it was extremely easier to work with him. It's almost counterintuitive to think that we can work together on a music project like this, being in two separate countries. And, like, I was 100% comfortable with the project. Like, he helped me every step of the way. So because the whole earth was so inspiring, I was motivated to write and do my own music as well. So because of that, like, when I was a kid, I've always, tried to write music, and I wasn't confident enough, like, is this good, or people are gonna like this, something like that, always. So after this song, like, I tried writing again, and I'm so happy to tell you that I'm actually putting a melody to a song that I wrote, and I'm hopefully it will be released this year.
Right. That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
So PV, what's your message to the viewers of the podcast?
um so it's like, it's basically, if you're passionate about something, keep doing it, because don't think about entertaining a bigger audience, because if your audience is made up with just 5 people, that's enough. So keep doing it.
Right. Anybody you want to shout out to?
uh what do you mean, like, so about?
Yeah, just say thanks or whatever.
Yeah. So obviously, I want to thank my family and, like Jed, of course, and Chaturanga, who was a friend of Jed. I mean, like he was so supportive as well because, when I was actually, when I went to the studio, I didn't know that I had to do harmonies for the song. I wasn't
Right.
prepared for it. And then, when I was there, I was freaking out what I'm going to do because when I register my mind to that, like the main melody, I can't change it. So because of that, like I was freaking out. And then he was on his piano and it was saying like, you can do this, we're almost there. So he was supportive. And and also Darshani De Silva, who co-wrote the lyrics, and yeah, everybody who is involved in that, and my boyfriend, of course, because he was the one who actually recorded the footage for the video.
Right.
And yeah, so yeah, everybody who helped me, and you, I mean, especially for inviting me because this is my first podcast. I mean, it's cool. I want to do more.
Right, right. Yeah, thanks for joining this, PV. I really enjoy talking to you, and really looking forward to your new songs and all the other stuff that you will be putting out. Hopefully, you can someday you will publish your novel as well. So looking forward to that. So
Thank you.
yeah, so you can always come back on the podcast when you have news. So we can always talk about it. And thanks
Okay,
for
okay.
joining the podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me again. So
Thanks. Have a great day ahead.
see you.
See you.